the guy was watching his girl cheat on him. And when I say cheat, brother, this man. Yeah. No,
there you go. Hey.
I see what you're saying. I see.
Can you spit over the beat for me? You're a rapper, right?
Do you know what his rap name was?
No, I forgot.
AP Smirk.
AP Smirk.
Kind of good. AP Smirk. It was a rap generator name.
I immediately thought of the Smurfs. Sorry. And I know that's not
AP
the intention.
Smurf.
He was about to spit too. I'm sorry. I ruined it.
Oh,
That's okay. We'll save it for another week.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
This is
Tune in next week.
AP Smirk making a comeback. You know?
That's our bit. We get so close to Aaron spitting every week and just interrupt him.
It's all right. Nostalgia, man. Nostalgia's sad. That's what I've learned recently.
Oh,
Is it?
why?
Yeah.
It's just not. I saw like a video today and it said,
Let's unpack that, actually.
No intro. Welcome to the Who F Knows
Yeah.
podcast.
No. I was going to intro, and then I was like, wait a minute. This topic is very important. This feels emotional.
it was
I want to hear it.
like they have these videos that come out and it's just like throwback to a better time. And it was a Saturday morning and it was like a guy, it showed like the bedroom of the kid, had a bunch of like, he had like his gaming set up and he had like a PlayStation set up with his little monitor in his desk. And there's like a little sunrise in the background. And then it cut to downstairs, the living room. It had an old school couch and it had the sunrise and he had like a morning Cartoon Network cartoons on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cut to outside and it's like a freshly cut lawn. You hear like the birds, the morning birds tweeting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know, man. It's like, I know nostalgia is supposed to feel good, but a lot of it I feel like is like, this is just sad.
So let's unpack this.
Yeah,
What's stopping you from having those mornings? Because I'll be honest, you kind of just, I feel like you just described my Saturday mornings when I'm home. When we get up, kids throw, it may not be a cable cartoon, but throw some Bluey on the TV. We're eating breakfast. Sun's coming up through the window. My PlayStation is also just chilling there. Like, are you just? Not,
I guess it's a different
life, right? Is this a?
I guess it's a different perspective. It's like it's not me enjoying it in a weird way. It's like I'm enjoying with others versus like when you're that age, you're like, this is just me. I'm just vibing out with me. Now it's like it's everybody.
It's the freedom that you miss.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Right now, you're thinking of all the stressors that come with having to support and provide all those things, and you're not just letting go and letting God.
Yeah. Because in reality, these mornings, they're not always sunrise and
they're not.
The game's on. It's someone screaming. Someone is crying because they don't want something for breakfast.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
This is going to go off the deep end real quick. That is also a blessing.
Yeah.
That's also a blessing. You know how many people out there would pray to have a family to make them mad every morning?
My counterpoint was going to be, you said it's not you doing it. I was going to say, you could look at it as I get more joy out of watching taking a step back and watching the kids do it.
It's perspective. He's 100% right. He's just looking at it from the other perspective, and we need to turn that frown.
Yeah, I don't want to paint you as somebody who doesn't enjoy watching their kids.
No, it's not like I don't appreciate it. It's just a different, we've said before, it's a different, season of life. It was this at one point. Now we're in a different season where it's a different perspective and you got to flip it. So maybe that's why it's sad, because it's like, I remember when it was like this and then now it's like this.
It's a mix of kind of what Patty was saying too, where it's like, it's not that you don't enjoy your kids doing it. It's that you wish you could just like take a day away from all the stresses of work and just sit back and also watch cartoons and
be free.
It's just getting old. It's like I remember when I used to wake up and play video games and hear the bird. It's just like, so I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just got this weird take that like I see all these old stuff and like you see people going to these old clips of like people going to Toys R Us and all this like
R.I.P.
all these like games and all these Christmas time and then people going to the malls and shopping and it's like it's supposed to be like I remember that time, but it's I don't know, something about it is just a little sad.
It can be a little sad.
I also had kind of a negative thing too, I guess. Are we just gonna be a negative pod? I was gonna be like, you ever been in what? You ever go through those phases where you feel like your life is just like just a cycle? You know what I mean? Like it's like rinse and repeat every day. It's like it's routine. You fall into the routine.
When I wake up, there's a halo hanging from. Well, I said that out of. Yeah, I fucked it up. The beat was off. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, you just I get in these phases, I guess, where it just feels like it's rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
It's generally like these are the times where I'm like, I need a vacation. Like this is when the I need a vacation comes into mind, because it's like every day feels the same kind of thing.
Yeah. I had a thought about both of those actually. I think the problem is how we look at life in general as adults. We never sit in the moment and appreciate the moment. We're always worried about what's coming next, or I don't know, just like we're always stressing about something. We're always thinking about something that really like it matters, but it doesn't matter. Like you could appreciate the little things in front of you, which I never do, but that would help with what you're talking about. That would help with what you're talking about. If you could just appreciate the Saturday mornings, then the mundane shit doesn't happen, because every Saturday it's like, oh wow, there's a bluebird that wasn't here last week. I wonder when that came in the neighborhood. You know, your friends next door, they got the damn bird watching stuff going on. Like they got it going. They know what's happening in life. No, but I also listen. I fall in the same routine where it's like, man, like I can't wait for the upcoming vacation just to get. Man, this job's really kicking my ass right now. I'm just so tired of doing this every day, and now I'm doing more, and like, you know, it's always something. But
I struggle with staying in one spot too long.
yeah,
Like I don't like to. If we haven't gone anywhere or done anything fun in like a month or two, I'm like I need to get, even though like I'm getting out the house for work and doing things, I feel like you're stuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm stuck in the house in a sense. Like I need to move.
you got to break the cycle. Is really what it is.
But I'm just not good at staying in one place. Even like on vacation, like if we're going like bar hopping or whatever, like even if the bar is like kind of popping, I'm like, I need to.
It feels like if you're not doing something consistently, you feel like you're not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's how like it's the same thing with work. Like you get an off day and you're like, I could just sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing, but then you're like, I feel like I should be doing something.
Yeah.
I feel like you're wasting a day. You're wasting time.
You take a nap and you wake up 5 hours later. You're like, damn it.
I think that kind of goes back to what Patty said. It's just like taking a step back and like relaxing and appreciating the moment.
There's something to be said for like a clean house helping. Like, so like if you're sitting at home, you're like, man, I really got all this stuff to do. Like, yeah, like cleaning the house might help your mindset.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is important to just be like, you know, listen, there's always gonna be shit to do. Yeah. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
3-hour nap could also help your mindset.
Good.
I can't take 3-hour naps, even if I wanted to. It's like it's the same thing. It's like you're saying. If I take a 3-hour nap, I'll wake up and be like, "Damn, that was a good nap." But within seconds, I'll be like, "Damn, I got 3 hours less to do whatever I wanted or needed to do." So sometimes it's not always things I need to get done. Just like things I want to get done that would just make my day a little bit better. And it could be like the simplest of things, right? Like, oh, I might need some like syrups for my coffee. That would make me happy just to go to the store and get that.
Yeah.
But now I have 3 hours less to do that. Oh, I got to go get the kids. Oh, I got to do this. Guess I'm not getting my shit today. I have had on my list. I have a to-do list. Something I've been trying to do like for the year is like make my to-do list at night for the next day and just kind of be a little more productive with life, I guess. I've had go to TJ Maxx for coffee syrups for a month has been on there. And that's the only thing I haven't checked off because it's like the lowest priority thing. And I just have not gotten around to go do it. And it's upsetting every time I see it. I go to make a coffee. I'm like, oh, guess it's regular coffee today because I don't have my syrups.
Damn.
What kind of syrup are you getting from TJ Maxx to where it's?
Oh, you don't know the value of going to TJ Maxx and getting the little syrups. I'm
always afraid to get the food from TJ Maxx. It's all this.
Listen,
don't know if I trust it.
I've been doing it for years and it's been fine. It's just the Torani ones, whatever it is. It's the same thing like Starbucks uses or whatever.
Yeah.
You pay whatever price at the grocery, but it's half the price at TJ Maxx. It's like $5 for each one. And you just go, it's the value. You asked me a while back if I went to TJ Maxx. That is the reason I go to TJ Maxx.
Tis the reason.
I love that.
What an intro to the Who Effing Knows podcast. Whoever knows what you're gonna get.
It's been a while since we had a real conversation. I think that was nice.
Yeah, I like those.
It's a nice change of pace sometimes. I do enjoy the laughter, but it is nice to.
We don't always listen. I'm one of those people like forced laughter and forced comedy sucks. I don't like it. Get it out of my face.
Right.
For sure.
No.
Yeah, man. No, I don't know.
No, but I get you. Yeah, it's like,
I don't think it's ever really forced though.
I don't think it's forced. I do think that we look for like
Yeah, if
short quip stuff.
because
like,
if I'm scrolling through the internet and I see something funny, I save it for the week for y'all.
yeah, I want to share.
Whereas
this.
like we
I wanna
will
share this with my bros.
we will text and we'll go grab lunch or something and we'll talk.
Yeah.
Like that's when a real conversation. Like we just went get coffee and we were talking about how I had to go deal with shit for the house.
Yeah,
Like that's when those conversations happen, not here.
Dave's refrigerator broke. Say
Yeah.
a prayer for Dave.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to my fridge.
it's a tough scene.
Very tough.
The sad thing, the worst part of that is when it rains, it pours, and that's the first thing. And I just know something else is is about to happen. You get all it's always tax season too. Get all excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get some money back.
Not me.
Gotta buy a fridge.
You get money back on taxes. Good for you.
Yep.
I don't.
Tough scene.
Tough scene.
Ironically enough, the fridge actually relates to my first topic.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, before we do this,
Yeah.
all right. So we talked about this last week. We have a way that we're going to try and go about. And we were going to intro this way and everything, but obviously, as a Whoever Knows podcast goes, we got off topic immediately. We're going to come with 3 topics. He has one that he would like to start with. We were going to say the 3 we have, but maybe we'll keep them a surprise. I don't know.
Keep you waiting.
I kind of like the idea of saying the 3 so that they know what to look forward to.
But it is the Whoever Knows podcast. So
That's
just
true.
like you
There
already
is no-
saw,
Listen,
there's no guarantee.
right.
We may not even get to
These are
those
the
other
3
two
we plan to get to.
Right.
May or may not.
Yeah.
Watch the whole episode to find out.
Maybe we should like release like lines too, like betting lines. Like, do they get to all
Ooh.
3 topics this week?
Mm.
Plus 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What's
it.
the over under? 2.5?
What's the spread?
Oh man. Anyways,
Do they go over or under an hour and 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think the hour,
Our
like
own
hour
betting
5 is the line.
Hour and 5 is the line.
Yeah.
what
It's
does it
usually
take to start a betting app? Can we?
And when is it?
We need a DraftKings deal.
Yeah, no.
We've already gotten off topic. I'm sorry.
No.
What did you
It is the Whoever Knows
Wait,
podcast.
I'm
We just
sure
talked
about
about
Another bet. How long does this topic actually relate to a fridge? He says,
Oh,
wait,
it too.
wait. He says a fridge leads to his topic.
Yeah.
What are the odds on it actually relates versus it doesn't relate?
I don't know.
No has to be the favorite, right?
Yeah.
My favorite percentage, 2,000,000%.
He's gonna mention fridge one time, and it's nothing.
So I opened my fridge earlier and I thought about this.
Onward.
No. So my general consensus is what I've learned over the past couple of years as being a homeowner is not knowing how to do something and YouTubing it and completing it.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything more satisfying as far as fixing something around the house. And I experienced it this weekend. We've had a ice maker in our fridge that has been broken.
Holy shit.
It did. I told you.
This
I told you I
relates.
could do it.
I mean, like 100%.
Yeah,
Well, it's kind of
2,000,000%
crazy because it
actually.
actually relates to the exact conversation we had sitting at the coffee shop the other day. Wow.
Ice maker broke. It's a design flaw. They have a whole class action lawsuit against it, but the wires snap. And so it's either replace the door or replace the fridge. And I'm like, I told my wife, I said, like, you're just going to have to get the old school style, fill the water up in the little ice cubes, put it in there. And I got to the point, I started YouTubing some videos of how to do this, how to do that. And I said, I'm going to give it a shot.
Mhm.
Got me a soldering gun, got me some heat shrink, got me some, got me a bunch of little stuff. Opened it, unscrewed the bottom part, got the wires, stripped them, tied them together, soldered the little wires on there, put the heat shrink on. It made ice.
That is fantastic. You watched a video where they taught you how to solder, right?
Yes.
How many times did they say the word?
Solder.
There you go.
Listen.
Dave and I looked at each other and we're like, wait a minute.
I was hoping. I
That
was
just,
wondering if it was the
that
same
just
thing.
proves my point.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell it is, but I sure as hell got
That's-
what I needed the tool to get, and
I feel like
did
that's on the extreme end of.
So I'm
of
basically-
learning how to do something
I'm
yourself.
basically
That's pretty good.
I'm basically
Yeah.
an electrician. Is what
Yeah.
what it boils down to.
Because I'm
is-
like, I'm thinking like, oh, it's just unscrew something like a simple fix. Like that's a That's some work, I guess.
And it was
running wires is once you know what you're doing, it's not too difficult.
And it was just, I thought I didn't do it, and I was so disappointed because I did everything, closed the fridge. I'm like, all right, let's see if it makes some ice. 2-3 hours, nothing. I'm like, mother. And I took it apart, and then it randomly dropped a little 10-pack of ice. I'm like,
dude, this is a skill. This is a skill that more people need to learn how to learn.
Yeah.
Learn how to learn. Yeah, whatever. This is a skill more people need to learn how to learn, and not like learning how to fix an ice maker.
Yeah.
Learning how to figure out how to search for things that will teach you things.
Yeah.
You can unlock so many things that way. I'm telling you.
And that's what I felt more accomplished about it than anything, because there wasn't a specific video on how to fix this thing. It was, this is what you need to do to fix it. And I'm like, all right, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Well, then how do you solder this? Well, how do you do this? And then I'm like, let me piece them together. It's not rocket science. And I got it done. I did that. It's the same thing with cars. You talked about it before, like learning to drop the transmission and stuff like that. It's, I YouTubed a video, and my wife had a Volkswagen, which is like known for the most complicated cars to try to fix. And just like taking screws out and changing headlights and moving all this stuff and just doing little things, just something satisfying about it. It's like what was the commercial? The real man of genius. That's what I felt like after I was like, yes.
The YouTube watching home dad.
I did it.
Something like that. My heater actually broke right before the snowstorm. I didn't even tell you guys, and I had to YouTube things to fix it. So there you go.
And did you feel like real man of genius once you was done?
I've done it before, but yeah. So like
you've been a real man of genius.
I've been a real man of genius. So I've got an uncle who, bless his soul, has taught me a lot of things, and I understand electricity. I understand HVAC a little bit, so I knew where to start.
Yeah.
And then I just researched a few things about what I had, and then I figured out how to fix it. And then I called my uncle and said, "Hey, am I an idiot, or did I do this right?" And he was like, "I'm just shocked you did it." And I'm like, "Well, okay, good. Guess I'm good then."
Yeah. I think that's the funniest part about like being a homeowner, or just generally having stuff to fix around your house, is there's a lot of things that you'll buy once and you'll never use it again. Like, I don't know the next time I'll have to use the solder.
He's got a saw that he's used once and hasn't used again. I've used it like 10 times already. Brought it here when I was redoing
it's like when you could have it, and then it's just gonna sit. Fun fact, those little guns that you solder with, it gets hot very fast. I plugged it in, and literally 2 seconds later, because it doesn't really heat up, you can't tell, and you're like, is it? And I go to touch it, and I heard my skin sizzle, and I said, "Oh, well, yes, okay. It's hot."
Yeah.
So you talk about like buying something and not using that often. So I wanted to change out the faucet on my sink, and they had never done it since we bought the house. So the screws, little plastic nuts or whatever they are, were impossible to get off. Like I even tried to melt them off. Like I got under there with a thing and just tried to melt it. I was like, it doesn't matter if it catches fire. I can put this out. We're good. I'm prepared for this. Eventually I got them off. Like I had to they would not turn because they were so rusted and old.
Yeah.
Because they when I bought the new one, it came with plastic ones, which would have been a hell of a lot easier to get off. But anyway, I was like, I'm not going to do that again the next time I want to do this. So I went and bought a router so that you could just cut it off, just in case I had to do it again. And I've never used it. But if it comes to the scenario where I need
you are prepared.
I have it. I was like, I will not go through this again, and I will be prepared for it the time it happens.
How big is this router? Or is it like a little Dremel tool?
Yeah, a little Dremel thing.
Oh, okay. In my head, I pictured,
No.
so I've seen like these big routers that people like woodwork with.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, that is insane.
No, it's a little, I don't think it's actually a Dremel, but yeah. It's a Dremel tool that it's got all the attachments and whatever to do all the different
Those
shit.
are clutch.
Yeah.
You'll find things to do with it,
I've had it for 2 years and I've never even done anything with it.
Just give it some thought one day. Let it come to you. Let it speak to you. And, before
I bought it for that purpose. I've never been on the lookout for other things. I was like, I will not be in this scenario again because I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much worse than having to get under the sink and in the cabinet and try to mess with stuff. Being like, if y'all are the same boat, if we were smaller, it might not be so bad. But because we're so big, it's a pain in the dick.
Man, listen, I rebuilt a house at 340 pounds, and I did some plumbing in that time, and it was fun. Tiny little bathroom, shallow sink. It was great. Good times.
Yeah,
good times.
I'm sure I still have like different.
Find that round of applause button. I feel like that deserves it.
Is there a round of applause?
There is a
button?
round of applause
Oh,
button on there
good
somewhere.
luck.
I think this
It's
is
too far away.
okay. Don't worry about it. I
But the
guess.
buttons and all this. Whoever set this
clap,
up.
clap, 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 clap.
Golf clap.
Baby, make that booty clap. Waka flocka. No.
I like that.
Shake that ass at me.
I was gonna say something and I forgot. You want to move on to another topic, or
Sure.
because now we're in the in between. I'm befuddled.
Sure. In the in between.
Flabbergasted.
Not quite the upside down, but the in between. You know.
In the in between.
I have a million topics written down, and for some reason, my mind is just going to Dave Portnoy doing pizza reviews in Metairie.
Oh, jeez.
And I would just love to know, first of all, Metairie, how we feeling? Matari, Matar. Is that how you say it?
I think he said.
I'm joking.
I know you're joking, but all I'm thinking about is I saw people in the comments being like, "It's Metri," and I put
It's
that
not
I put that
Metri,
under the
first of
same
all.
boat as it's Nolans.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this.
He even said New Orleans wrong on there.
Yeah. First of all, the people that say Metri aren't from Metairie.
I get
Yeah.
I get more upset at the people that say, "Oh, it's like the locals that say, "Oh, it's Nolans or it's Metri," than I do the people that aren't from here and say New Orleans. You're not from here. You're excused.
Yeah.
It's okay. I understand how you got to where you got to.
Yeah.
I don't like that you're from here and you call it, "Oh, Nolans."
Yeah.
Or
It's just that old yat.
yeah.
It is. What's funny is it is an old local accent. That they would probably argue that is what it is because that's the history of it, right? Like that's how we butchered these names in the past. So that's what it is.
But it's like that's how it's said. I don't know how to explain what I want to say. Like they're not saying that. Like they're not saying Nolans. They're saying New Orleans. It's just their accent makes it sound different.
They're saying Nolans.
I guess.
So if you want to get into that discussion,
Like I don't know how to
phonetically, it is New Orleans. If you want to like classing like English language, it is New Orleans. It's or like whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm even saying
like
that wrong.
Mufalada is not Mufalada.
Right.
It's actually like
Calliope is
Mufalada.
not Calliope. It's Calliope. Like there's all these things that we could argue. So same thing. Like going back to like the old Yat Pack language or whatever. Like Metri, Nolans.
I guess I don't get upset at them saying Nolans so much because it just comes out that way.
Yeah.
I don't like when somebody writes it out that way. That's where I get bothered by it.
How you feel about NOLA? You feel the same way about NOLA?
I don't know. It depends on the scenario. Like with the terrorist thing and it's NOLA strong. Like I like that.
Yeah, it's easier to say. It rolls off the tongue. I
Yeah,
guess.
like there's scenarios where I'm okay with it, but like I don't like saying, "Oh, I'm going to NOLA."
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
I'll be down in NOLA next weekend.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
NOLA? The
But also
penitentiary?
we're around here, so like we just say, "Oh, we're gonna go to the city," or something like that. You know,
New Orleans.
It's so funny. Like
I never say I'm going to New Orleans. I just say I'm going to the city.
Yeah.
and most people know where you're going.
I don't.
You say the South Shore.
I don't. Well, sometimes I do. Yeah. No, I normally, if I'm going to the city, if I say the South Shore, I mean like River Ridge or Metairie or something like that. I don't say Metairie. I just say the South Shore. If I'm going to New Orleans, I normally specifically say where I'm going in New Orleans because people on the North Shore are scared of New Orleans.
You know what I think the difference is here though. You lived on that side,
Yeah.
so when I say I'm going to the city, it could mean anywhere from the West Bank to like Metairie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you lived over there, you spent more. You know what I'm trying to say?
I feel like I got to specify. I'll tell somebody over here, I'm going to the city this weekend. They'll be like, "Oh, be careful. Make sure you're in a well-lit area." And I'll be like, "Brother, I'm going to the Lower Garden District."
Yeah.
Okay?
But what's funny is like I'll say I'm going to the city, and it can mean a bunch of different places. But if I was specifically going to the French Quarter, I would say I'm going to the Quarter.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of time there with work. So I think it kind of in the same boat as you, where it's like you spent a lot of time there, so you differentiate all the different places.
Yeah.
So, but like I'm not gonna say I'm going to the CBD or I'm going uptown.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to the city. If I'm
Yeah.
going to the zoo. I'm going to the city.
Funny? I probably refer to it wrong as well. Like the CBD, I just call downtown. Yeah. And then I call the French Quarter, and then the Warehouse District, Lower Garden District, and then like I don't really go anywhere else. I'll be honest. So that's kind of what it is. I go to Mid City actually.
That's what I tell people because I work 2 blocks from Canal, and they're like, "Where do you work?" I'm like downtown.
Yeah.
I'm
Downtown.
like I'm 2 blocks from Canal. I'm downtown.
Danton.
I don't say CB. I never say I work in the Central Business District or CBD. Like it's just
Shouldn't you say like downtown?
downtown.
Isn't that more your
The
saying?
H in.
Pat McAfee.
A bunch of Pennsylvania people out there, so definitely the Yinzer accent is
How
out there.
is the French Quarter right now? Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
it's Super Bowl week.
Yeah, it's it's nuts. Today was a pretty good day in my life. I had conversations with celebrities. I had food made for me by celebrities.
Nice. Who?
Had celebrities eat at my hotel or drink at my hotel.
Was it like a celebrity chef that made
I'd
you
love to
food?
play the guessing game of what celebrity you think made the food for him.
Well, I know that who made the food because I saw this person make my food.
I know. I want you to tell him the food and see if he can at all guess, because I don't think you would ever guess who it was.
Okay.
It was a food truck across from my hotel, and they were serving Philly cheesesteaks.
Guy Fieri.
He is supposed to be out here out in the city.
Is he a chef?
No.
Okay, so that makes it
Actor.
better.
Well, I'll give you the hint of actor.
Actor, and it's a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes.
Is this person from Philly?
Be honest, I
He's
don't know.
from Pennsylvania, not specifically Philly, but he is from Pennsylvania.
Man, I don't know a lot of people from Pennsylvania. I'll be honest.
I'll give you a hint. The name of the restaurant / food truck is Danny and Coop.
Is it a Danny something? Is his name?
There's a
Danny?
chef Danny.
Oh, and his name's Coop something. I got nothing. Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Wow. Came to me. I thought of Lady Gaga, who
She's also
playing.
Good guy.
yeah. Maybe they'll sing Stars Born.
Yeah. I just instantly remember you told me a story earlier where
Yeah.
they were filming a commercial and
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
I can't call her anything else. It's always Gaga. Was there, and I randomly thought of Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice day getting a
Cheesesteak
cheesesteak made by Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I saw Key and Peele, and then I didn't even. What was crazy, I didn't even put two and two together. I'm like, oh, this food truck. It was like, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, the restaurant's in New York, and then I'm like, then someone sent me a video, and they were like, Bradley Cooper making Philly cheesesteak. I was like, that's my hotel in the back. I'm like, oh, that's Bradley Cooper. And I was like, we're back across the street, and then I got another one, and sure enough, he's just back there whipping Philly cheesesteaks, handing them out.
Hey Coop,
Hey, Coop.
give me a Philly whiz wet.
It was definitely he was there for probably about an hour, and then on my return back to the hotel, I look over and I'm like, "That's Shane Gillis,
Alexander.
Shane Gillis Alexander, Madden cover."
Do we call him Shane Gillis Alexander, or did you just say that?
Just started saying
Okay, I
that.
was
He
like,
just
what
said it,
is
yeah.
happening?
No, but he talked to him, and then we convinced him to have a drink with his friends at Very Own Brand. He's sponsored by Bud Light. He could have ordered anything. My F&B manager's like, I can make you the best old fashioned. He's like, just give me 8 Bud Lights.
Yeah, that feels like him. He's
Yeah,
like,
I was
no,
like,
bro,
own brand.
just-
Yeah.
Just give me Bud
Yeah,
Light.
I can't be seen out in public not drinking
That's right.
anything but Bud Light.
Yeah. Sounds like you're not getting a lot of work done.
Hey,
It sounds like you're just out there like
for whatever reason, my section of Magazine Street is like not even 20 paces down. They had an NFL owners party. Then you got Bradley Cooper across the street doing cheesesteaks.
I mean, you're right off the street where the stadium is.
Yeah.
You're in
you
a
know?
good spot.
Yeah.
It's also Magazine, which is a hot spot.
Like, didn't they build like full buildings on Poydras Street and it's just like shut down right now?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I
It's a
saw
lot
that
different than the past Super Bowls. It seems like
they're spread out too, though.
Yeah.
They have they're in random areas around the city. It's not just in one
That's what I was
location.
telling my grandma. Like, we're going out there tomorrow, but just from what I've seen, I was working in the quarter for the last one,
Mhm.
and everything was pretty centralized for the last one.
It was
if I
all
remember.
right around the dome or on the
on the
lakefront.
river. Yeah, on the river.
The river, not the lakefront.
Yeah. And that's what I was telling her. I remember going to watch like the ESPN shows on the river and all of that. It was like all the different stages were just set up along there.
Yeah.
But this time it seems like they're set up in random bars.
Yeah. They
All-
said, we're about to feel New Orleans. We're going to bring it to you.
and it feels like they've done it right this time. This is people are raving. I haven't seen the only people that are complaining about it are the people that live down there, and it's affecting them. And I don't feel bad for them at all. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
You live in the damn French Quarter.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Like, but every single thing, like Chad Ochocinco is having a time. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter.
Brother, I haven't been able to get past Jameis Winston to see Chad. I've seen
Listen,
Chad Ochocinco say stuff, and I'm like,
whoever chose Jameis as the Fox representative isn't getting paid enough money. What a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And that dude is just living life, man.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had a better star turn in the last like 5 years than Jameis Winston.
Yeah, bring him back. Come on home, buddy.
For the vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
don't
don't
even care if you play.
No.
Just come
I
hang
don't-
out.
And I love that he's just out there like asking everybody, where should I go play? Like, who should employ me?
Somebody interviewed him. He said, I'd love to be the starting quarterback here. And I was like,
Yeah.
sure, come on.
Yeah. Like,
Almost was.
he's going to get hired on at, I guess, probably Fox now within minutes of him being like, yeah, I'm
course.
done.
Of course. You know what? I don't don't know. Like I know he's very religious too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just hoping he just goes off and does some type of, I don't know, religious work somewhere. I would just come to my church, Jameis. Come hang out.
Seems like somebody that would just do all of it.
Mhm.
I mean, like Tebow still does, and
That's
Tebow's
true.
college football, the face of college football.
Very
Like,
true.
Yeah, it's cool to see everything. Like you said, it is spaced out because they have a lot of like stages built by the French Quarter, and then they got
Fulton Street's taken over by First Take.
Yeah,
Which
Like,
that makes sense. I
Yeah.
get that. You know the one I don't get, although I get the background. They have a stage set up right outside of the parking lot next to the Sanger.
Mm.
It's literally just like a fence.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's the Sanger in the background, and it's like, oh, that's
What did
cool.
I
But
see?
like, what are we doing here?
I was watching Colin Cowherd earlier, and I don't know where they're set up, but it looked like the stage at Cats. But I was like, "There's no way they took. That's too big of a too popular of a place to shut this. Like, and they're not taking that down every night, right? There's no way that they took over
How-
Cats
what
like
was
that.
this? What did the set look like? Is it like a crazy set, or could they take?
You
it
know
down?
how when you're looking at the karaoke stage at Cats, and you see out the window, and people are always walking by right there.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It just looked like he was set up on a desk on the stage at Cats. But I have a hard time imagining that's what they did.
During the day, man, it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know how much of work it would be to take the set down.
They got so
But
many
it's-
employees.
I just imagine it's too popular of a place to have that stage not being used 24/7.
Yeah. Is there room left on the stage
I
if
don't-
they
I
just
don't know.
wall
I
it
don't-
off?
I only
Listen.
watched it for a couple minutes, and that's why I kept watching. Like I was hoping they would say where they were
Mhm.
because I saw it. I did a double take. I was like, are they at Cats? Like they just randomly take over at Cats?
I do love that ESPN has just embraced popping up at random bars for shows. Like that was
Yeah.
when we did the interview with Matty Hudak from Tulane. I was like, yeah, let's just do it at a bar. That'll be fun. And then I saw Pat McAfee do the college game, or not college game day, but one of his shows at some place in Ireland. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man.
It's a good time out for the city. I always do. We talked about it, about how to pronounce stuff. It's like always such a thing with.
Mhm.
They always ask the out of town like athletes, like, how do you
God.
pronounce this street? How do you pronounce this name? How do you pronounce this?
And the first one they
And
always
just butcher
try.
it. Chapatulas.
Chapatulas.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Chupatulas.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
it's-
spitting on me, sir.
They were
It's-
asking the analyst today to say Wazam baby.
Oh, nice.
And so they were asking like just all the different announcers, and some of them were good, and some of them were like, "Don't ever say that again, please." But some of them like knew it. They were like, "That was horrible. Don't ask me to say that again."
What's happening, baby?
Wazam,
Just
baby.
horrible. You know, I tried to say that bad.
What's
It still
ham,
came
baby?
out okay.
Wazam, baby.
Baby.
It's cool, man. It's cool to see everybody come here and just rave about it. Especially because like the even though they're putting all the money into the dome, and it is a really nice stadium for being probably one of the older ones
Yeah.
in the league. It's cool to be like for them to come here and do all of this and love it so much and like know we're gonna get another one at some point. Because it does feel like they're building all these new stadiums, and it's like, are we gonna fall out of the rotation?
No.
And but when they finally do it again, you're like, all right, yeah, we're-
Vegas,
we're
New
good.
Orleans, Indianapolis,
Mhm.
Miami.
For some Miami's a weird one. I don't understand for the life of me why Miami is in the rotation.
I think people just like being in
Yeah,
Miami.
location.
It's
That's what
not.
it-
It's not the
The
stadium. It's
stadium,
not
the stadium is terrible locate. Like the stadium itself is like world class,
yeah.
but location wise, we've seen it. It's nowhere near anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like that's the biggest complaint they have about like the Hurricane games. Like it's not near anything.
I think you just see it like
But it is
like
a
here.
huge city.
This is
Yeah.
the first year where you see the yachts start to pull up on the river. That
Mhm.
never used to happen. That
Mhm.
was a Miami thing. Now it's happening in New Orleans. That tells me this is never going away.
Yeah. Yeah.
These billionaires can pull up in their yachts. They're sold.
Yeah. And Vegas is of course going to be one
Yeah,
because of the strip.
But even that
Nashville and
this-
the new stadium, that's going to be one that.
for sure.
But it's a
Nashville's
state.
fun city.
I don't know if it's going to be closed in or not. I don't know if they're putting the retractable roof on it. If they're not, then it's a maybe.
That's a big
Dangerous
deal.
game.
But even Vegas, like the stadium is by the airport, and the
Yeah,
airport is
that's
like
true.
25 minutes from downtown. So
Yeah.
I think that's why New Orleans is always going to
Downtown.
have that stuff. You know, the convenience factor. You can walk from Bourbon Street to
In-
the Dome.
New Orleans is a very people that
Which
aren't
John
from
Gruden
here,
said you couldn't do that, which is wild.
Yeah.
He said you can't walk from Bourbon Street to the Dome.
1000% can.
Brother,
I'm
I
like,
used to do
what?
it every Sunday. I worked 2 blocks off of Bourbon. I would park there
If you,
and walk. And there's honestly, it might be the best move
I'm telling
because you could just pop in and get a drink all the way.
if you can't physically walk from Bourbon Street to the Dome, you might have some health problems.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, like for somebody like I don't know, maybe in their 50s or higher. It's a 25-minute walk. Like it's a little bit of a walk.
It's a nice walk, but it's a walk. Like it's
It's a walking city too.
The
like,
key is
it's
like if you're trying to like if you're rushing, yeah, it's gonna be tough because like then you're
Right.
But if
really
you're
walking.
American,
I tried not to laugh.
But if
Oh,
you're, if you're really walking, like yeah, it's gonna wear you out and you'll be sweating or whatever. But like if you give yourself time, it's a nice, enjoyable walk.
Yeah, there's places to stop along the way. You don't have to
Absolutely.
run to Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
First of all, you shouldn't go to Bourbon Street anyway. But
Yeah.
you know, and maybe walk to the warehouse district. Walk somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's how our nights out used to go. We used to mostly because my hotel was free parking.
Mhm.
We'd park there. We'd hit Andrew and 801 on the corner, go down Bourbon just to pop in. We'd always like pop in Razoo's for the next drink,
Mhm.
and then you hit like
Lipsticks.
yeah. But you hit one more bar, or we'd hit like Cats, then Razoo's,
Yeah.
then you cross over and you're downtown.
is Nashville close to like? I haven't been out to the stadium, or is it close to downtown?
So there's what's
It's not the Strip, but it's like their
Broadway?
version. Of the
Broadway, yeah. So
Okay.
there's So at one end of Broadway is the arena where
Memphis.
no, where the
not Memphis. Shit.
like Nashville,
Preds.
the hockey team, the Preds play.
Yeah.
That's basically starts Broadway. You walk all the way down, and then you can see the stadium the whole time. Then there's a bridge. You drive over the bridge, and the stadium's right there. But they say on game days, people just walk over the bridge like in a crowd.
That's how
Basically, like how we take over Canal
Yeah.
Street or Poydras, like walking back.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. They just cross right over, and
that's how Pittsburgh is. Like you got PNC and then Acrisure Stadium, and everyone walks across the bridge
Yeah.
to get over there. But like I asked that because it's like I don't really think there's another stadium that is the location and the walkability from like stadium to things to do downtown is any better than New Orleans.
I've never been, but they say Indy is a really good one.
Indy always picks weird time. Like they did the All-Star game when it was like snowing and cold, and it was
Yeah.
just like
But
I
like
think they picked those times.
But
That's just the
Indy's-
time of the year those games
Indy is
happen.
like a convention like center. Like they do a ton of conventions in
Yeah.
Indy for that reason. It's very
Indy's
similar.
built for this type of stuff, though. Everything's supposed
Yeah.
to be centralized in that area. You know what's interesting? There is a lot to do. It is a walkable distance from the dome to other places, but there's nothing immediately around the dome, which always was
Yeah.
very interesting to me.
It's funny that you say that. I don't know if you paid any attention to the news or whatever this week, but they had the architects on that have been like in charge of like the recent renovations, and they were basically asking like their future plans, not like anything immediate, like what they would really like to do in the future. And they want to like knock down all the parking right there. And basically they want to build up, it would be like apartments, and it looks gorgeous.
They're taking the same approach of every other professional baseball
Well,
team.
no,
in the
they're not.
country.
They just want it to be apartments. And I said that. I was like, that's not what they should do. If they want to do it, knock it down and extend, like make it Champion Square all the way around. Put local restaurants,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like
Have
make it the
places
little
that are open all year.
like the towns. I call it towns because that's what it is around these new baseball stadiums.
Mhm.
It's just like little party towns. Like just build a little tailgate town completely around it. And my grandma was like, it would take away from the businesses. I was like, I don't think so, because the people going to the Saints games are locals. The tourists are going to be on Bourbon and around the city no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you could build that, and it's just
Yeah.
one big ass Champion Square. But also, if we're gonna start putting money into things, let's start focusing on the arena and take care of that.
That's probably fair. Why would you tear down the parking garage? to
Yeah,
build
that's the other
to
thing. I
build
don't know where you're gonna
hotel
park.
or apartments. What are
That's-
we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. No, they've torn down. They've built. They've done it all by like what's the across the street from like walk-ons and stuff right there. That used to all be parking lots, and they built up
Yeah.
apartments. So they
Yeah.
do keep
You know
taking
what?
away
There-
apartment.
There are little like restaurants and bars now that I'm thinking of it. You got walk-ons. You got
Yeah.
what's the place right
Dave and
next to-
Buster's.
But like
Dave
if
and Buster's.
The
great.
wine place was.
there's Chick-fil-A. It's
There's
not
a
open on Sundays though.
I don't think Reginelli's is there anymore.
Nobody's pre-gaming at
Here's the
Chick-fil-A.
thing.
They got Johnny Sanchez's, and
By
then they're
the-
building another little Mexican restaurant right next to it.
But that's still not immediately.
It's
like-
not too far.
like
though.
if you
That's
go
close enough.
Like you go to the Braves games.
Jimmy
If you
John's.
go to the new Ranger Stadium, it's like there. Like you can almost walk from the restaurant into the stadium.
I think I'm thinking more of like and this is the best case scenario, like Wrigleyville, right? And not actually Wrigleyville, because that's more of like the modernized, like built around the stadium thing. The neighborhood around Wrigley is literally just like bar, restaurant, bar, you know, apartments, and it's really cool.
Yeah. I just want put some like good, close it off to vehicle traffic, put some good local restaurants in there. Give me a chance to get real food before I have to go in the dome and deal with
Center plate.
Yeah. That's
Did you see the anger hit my face when I
that's
immediately was
my
thinking
concern is
center
that they do this idea that I'm saying, but then they just let center plate take it over and
Absolutely
it just becomes all that. I'm like, no,
Here's
I
some
hate it.
chicken tendies and some French
plate?
fries.
Absolutely not. Here's our gumbo that's actually like
$14
bought
crawfish
from
pie.
Cisco.
I don't know what topic I want to talk about.
Just pick one, buddy.
Yeah.
I picked a random one that
We
wasn't
can
even on my list.
One of my random thoughts, I guess.
Let's do it.
I have a new favorite Twitter account to follow.
I know who it's not.
You know who it's not? Who?
Kanye West.
No, oh God.
He
God.
got Twitter back again, and he's in a weird place right
boy.
now. Kanye, his PR team needs to take away his Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't
ASAP.
seen all the tweets, but I've seen some.
It's
of
funny
them.
you think Kanye still has a PR team. No chance. He still
His
has,
wife showed up naked
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
a award
Which is
show the
wild.
other day.
He said he loves Hitler, and
It's nuts, man.
Hitler
It's-
had swag, and I'm like, okay, let's take away your phone. Sorry, your favorite Twitter account?
It's kind of funny because it's the racism dog.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
barked.
You knew it? You knew what it was?
You didn't hear me say
No, how'd you know that?
because that's my favorite new Twitter
Oh my
account.
God.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
That's why I tweeted that I'm gonna start barking at questionable tweets
Oh, it's-
moving forward. And people aren't gonna know what I'm doing.
I
They're
love
like,
it.
"What?"
It's my new favorite. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I know what you're saying. It's great. It's so funny. It'd be like Hulk Hogan, and then it's just bark, 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 bark.
Yeah.
What a brilliant account. I love it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Like that, I don't have much else to say except I love this account, and I hope it never goes anywhere.
I tweeted the other day that I was gonna start barking at questionable tweets.
I never put that together.
And that was the reason why. And our buddy Dylan responded and was like egging me on to do it. And I think he thought I meant like something sports related, like somebody with hot takes that I was going to be like, no, like that's
That's
stupid.
what I thought.
That's
I
not what
thought you
was
were. I thought you meant you were just gonna start calling people out.
No.
I didn't put two and two together.
Nope. Because there were people tweeting. There was a lot of political things happening on the timeline. And I was like, listen.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start tagging the racism dog. That's what I'll do. I'm just gonna quote tweet at racism dog.
That's a little more direct, but I think I like your style.
You know how I go. You know how I get down on Twitter.
Mine is more like back ended. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also,
Dog gifs. You know what?
yeah.
Gifs. GIFs.
Oh, I could do dog. Yeah. GIFs.
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 It's GIFs.
GIFs. GIFs.
It's
Yeah.
gifs.
It's GIFs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like gifts, and you take away the T. It's gifts.
No, choosy moms choose GIF, and it's GIFs.
Anyway,
But you don't give people Christmas gifs.
You don't.
But that's a different topic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't want to move on from the topic.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
keep going.
No, the simplest Twitter accounts are the best. Like one of the best, it was they would post every weekend. It was like the Daniel Craig, and we was like, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was once a week, and it would just everyone would retweet it and like it, and it was like you just look forward to this one tweet that just said the same thing every weekend.
I love the Captain Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dearest
He's
mother.
back, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
Yeah. I love that.
'Cause
That's a
he's
good one.
I think he's associated with like Stanford football now, or he's doing something.
Yeah.
Where he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
coaching,
Mhm.
and
That's
he's
a-
like, I have once again gained my sword for battle, or something. I don't know what he said.
That's a
but-
good one. There was like the is NCAA out yet one, and every day they would
Oh, yeah.
tweet no.
Oh,
And then it finally dropped, and they put yes, and like replies were like just everybody celebrating. It was such a fun time.
there was an account that was like, "Is Michael Jackson alive?" And I followed this for a long time, and for like years, it would be like, "No, no," every day,
And
no.
every team has like the Pelicans have an account for almost every player. There was like did Jonas Valanciunas have a good game?
Yeah.
And the other
Oh,
day
yeah.
I saw a tweet. It said like they finally tweeted, and it was like, "No, my dog ain't had a good game since he left New Orleans." It was the first time I've ever seen him tweet more than yes or no. It's like, man,
Poor guy. Where's he at now?
Uh,
He just got
he got
traded again.
Yeah,
Sacramento. He's
Yep.
in Sacramento. He joined his good buddy.
yeah. At least he's gonna play with his friends.
Bully ball.
Bully ball. I had other topics.
I had a thought in the middle of your topic, and I don't remember it. I was
I
gonna
know.
literally go down a rabbit hole, and I had lost it.
I kind of did the same thing. I was like, it was one of those like,
Well, it
it's
was your fault.
oh, it was the Twitter account. I don't know the exact name, but it's like where they're super late to the news. on
The
purpose.
Slow Report.
Yeah.
That's the Dan
So like
Levitard
6
show.
months
I haven't
later.
seen that.
Oh, is that?
It is. It was a joke they started like 2 years ago. They were like, we're gonna make an account called the Slow Report, and they will
Like the Queen dies, and like 6 months
Yeah.
later, they're like
6
RIP
months
to
later,
the
they
Queen.
tweet
You're
out-
like, wait, what? Did she die? Who else? Did the new one die? You're like, but it's just 6 months ago.
like
They're so late.
6 months from now, they're gonna tweet out Luka has been traded to the Lakers. Like that's the whole bit. But yeah, it's the Levitard show.
Yeah,
I will react the same way 6 months from now that I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
when it happened. And we don't even have to talk about that.
This topsy-turvy fucking world we live in now. I don't know what's real and what's not. I'm sorry.
they're after the owner. They had to like beef up security and he can't sit in his normal spot, and he has to sit up because he's been having like death threats, and they're doing protests outside
Well,
the
it's not
stadium.
the owner's
and-
fault. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
it
could
is
be.
the owner's fault.
Everything's the owner's fault.
He didn't even let his head coach know about it,
You know
which
how
is
you know-
crazy.
You know how you know it's the owner's fault? Because this shit wouldn't have happened if Mark Cuban was still running the Mavs.
Mark Cuban would have shot him.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's kind
cannot.
of funny.
Yeah.
Like Mark Cuban, like he kind of like quietly got rid of, like stepped away,
Yeah.
right? And he didn't really tell anybody. But the second this happened, he made it known that, hey, this wasn't me.
Guys, I don't know if you know, I don't own the team.
Yeah. He owns. I think he still owns like a very small,
but
share.
no controlling interest.
Yeah.
He has no say.
He's like he made sure to be like, hey, this not nope.
That affects so much. It's like Luka 80 is not selling like a merchandise like Luka is,
Oh no, absolutely not.
or selling
No.
just to go to the games.
No. Well, the crazy thing is, like, we're gonna dive into it. Like, there's a world where I see that how this team they got now can be good.
For sure.
Like, but it's just the idea of you didn't even try to get the best thing possible is just
Yeah, they said
nuts,
like
dude.
just to avoid like the off season. I'm like,
Here's
it's
the
your
thing.
best player.
Also, you can't use the excuse of he's out of shape when he's fresh off of carrying you to a finals you had no business being in.
When he was out of shape.
Yeah.
Right.
So who gives a shit if
This
he was
isn't
out of shape?
Listen, and
And
like
the guy's 6.
You know who else is out of shape? The guy in Denver that wins championships.
yeah. Right. We listen, as Pelicans fans, we understand the trading somebody because they're out of shape. If this was Zion, they're like, we've tried and tried, he can't get in shape. We haven't won anything. We felt it was time to move on. I
Sure.
get that.
Awesome.
You can't. Less than we're not even a full calendar year from him being in the finals. And almost I think he averaged a triple double.
He was also hurt. He was on one leg.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
Like because he doesn't play defense, okay, he could give you 70.
Yeah.
Like
Build defense around
bro.
him. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
He
Like,
is
what are we
the top
doing?
3 player in the league.
I don't understand. I've never been more shocked by anything in my life. I don't even know. I tweeted this. I was less shocked when I found out Kobe died.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird tweet. I don't know how to respond to that.
It's just a fact.
It's fair.
I'm
That's
just
that's
telling you.
your feelings, and those are valid. Your feelings are valid. Okay, but
I
I don't know how to feel about your
listen,
feelings.
we were all going through it that night. You said you've never had like so much to say without knowing what to say.
I didn't know what to say. I just kept saying random stuff.
And that's how I got to where I got.
And that's how you know it's bad too. When like 95 or almost like 99% of the people are like, "Oh, he's hacked. This is fake."
Yeah.
And then you're like, all of a sudden he's like, "This next tweet was like, this is not fake. This is." You're like,
Yeah.
"Nah, it's
I
still
was
fake."
like, nah, the league's gonna veto it.
Yeah.
we're all gonna vote, and we're gonna be like, nah, that's a bad trade.
And then with like the Utah, like they didn't even know what the actual trade was, other than they were
Yeah.
like part of it.
Wait, you want me to do what? I'm part of what?
Wait, no, I didn't agree to that. Oh, it's too late. It happened 2 hours ago, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Crazy.
And then, like I said, like the owner, they're doing the whole press conference, and like Jay Kidd didn't even know about it. I'm like, and Jason Kidd's just sitting there like,
Yeah.
you mother.
First of all, can we something that no one? I guess a few people have talked about it. I feel like I'm the only person saying it. The same guy that traded Luka is the guy that butchered the Steph Curry Nike deal,
Yeah.
and no one talks about.
It's not for the reason you said though. Did you know that? You know how you said it was because he called him Seth? That's not the reason why.
Why was it?
It's because they went to do the presentation and it was like a cookie cutter presentation.
Yeah, use the Kevin Durant slides.
That's why.
I
It's
said
not-
both of it, but
I didn't see that. I thought you only said because they called him Seth.
I might have only tweeted that part.
Yeah.
but I was thinking
That's
of
not the
it,
reason
to be
why.
fair.
It's because they went to do the presentation and it was the Kevin Durant
Yeah, just
presentation.
lazy, just
Yeah.
lazy. Like
Yeah.
called
And
him
then-
Seth, and he had a presentation for someone else.
And
Like,
And they told him they wouldn't give him a signature shoe. I'm like, if you're trying to get somebody, you think they would
yeah,
offer, especially like Nike. It's like that's what you're known for, is signature shoes. You're not going to give it to Steph Curry out of all people.
All I know is my whole thought when I saw that, I was like, this guy fumbled Steph Curry. And now in his mind, he's like, I gotta do something else. I gotta be known for something else. So let me butcher the worst trade in NBA history.
Watch this.
And it's nuts, man. He's getting up there. He's like, they're asking like, what about like 10 years from now? And he's basically like, oh, I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm
Well,
not.
good. You should be gone now then.
Yeah, and he's
'Cause-
basically like speaking for Jason Kidd. He's like, we're not gonna be here 10 years, and Jason Kidd's like,
Not anymore.
why? Like, I didn't do this. It ain't my fault. Like, at every trade since then, I've just been like, De'Aaron Fox got traded, and I'm like, I should care about this.
Good trade.
But I'm like, meh.
The San Antonio won that trade.
The only trade that I remember being as surprising to me was, and this is going to be just as a Saints fan, was the Jimmy Graham trade. It's the last trade I remember kind of coming out of nowhere. But even then, there was tension beforehand.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that trade.
It
was random.
I woke up from a nap and he was traded. I was like, what?
Mhm.
What just happened? But like they had just agreed to a contract. Like it felt like it might have been settled.
There were whispers of tension. Yeah.
Like I said,
don't know.
not on the same level, but it's the only thing like in my life that I can remember being like somewhat shocked by.
I think the only other one that surprised me, and this was as a Pelicans fan, was when we traded for Boogie. I was like, oh, we got Boogie? How? What?
Yeah.
Like
But even then, it was like there was some conversation as
Boogie was being traded for
Yeah.
sure. Or the thought was he was going to be
yeah,
traded.
but there was the rumors of like, oh, the Pelicans are a team in the conversations, and we were just kind of like, yeah, doubt it.
What about the Chris Paul? I mean, deal.
No, we knew that was happening. I mean,
Yeah.
that was pretty.
I do appreciate he came out, I think, a week or so ago and saying like it was all love to New Orleans, and he
Chris Paul
he gave
has-
like back up
listen.
on the story of like what actually happened, and
Chris Paul has constantly been like, every chance he gets, he's like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the city. He's like, they can boo me all they want. And he's like, it's not going to change how I feel about the city.
He basically has said multiple times he never wanted to leave. It was never his choice to leave. They traded him because they needed to trade him. to
Well,
rebuild the
he
team.
did kind of say it was his choice. He said him and David West made the decision together because he was like, they didn't know where we were going to play at that time. They didn't know what was going to happen.
But I feel like there's been multiple interviews where he said he didn't want to leave, and they traded him
I think
on
he
their
was.
own.
I feel like the way he kind of worded it was like he didn't want to, but he kind of felt like he had to.
They like told him they had to trade him.
I don't know. That's
but, like he met his wife here, and he's got like
Yeah.
family out here now, and I always welcomed a Chris Paul trade.
he is a player that I've been like just 1 year. Like just I
Yeah.
know it's not going to really like he's not going to really accomplish anything here with us, but just to like full circle it.
You know what? I wanted it. I think the time has passed.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think like was it 2
Because he
years
signed
ago?
to he signed to the Warriors,
I
and
think
then
it
you're
was
like,
like
oh,
yeah.
that would have been nice.
I
And then he
think
goes
that
to the
was year
Spurs, and you're
where
like,
it was
all right.
like it was like this is the time.
The last
Yeah.
like 2 years, it felt like it might have been a real possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, if next year he was like, yeah, one more year, he comes here, like,
Why the hell not?
yeah, like
Sure.
I'm not gonna say no,
Come on, buddy.
Fair
he's-
World Tour.
but now he might actually have a chance at a championship here
Hey.
soon. So
They ain't keeping him.
You got De'Aaron Fox.
Let's be
now.
honest. I love Chris Paul. They ain't keeping him.
that's fine. You know, I have other stuff. I don't know what you.
Did we ever? Did we get to your actual topic, or did we just go straight into the Luka talk?
It was the racism dog somehow
yeah.
got to that.
Bark, 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 bark.
I don't know how.
Bark, bark, bark.
I have other things.
Speaking of racism, dog, we banned plastic. No, we brought back plastic straws. We banned paper straws.
Did we
Is this
do
a
it yet?
thing? I don't know. Like, tell me more about this situation.
I don't
that's
know. The
happening.
only thing I saw was the tweet I sent y'all.
What was and what did he say again?
He said he's gonna go sign an executive order bringing back plastic straws, and in all caps, no more paper.
No more paper.
So, are we drawing a lot of straws? I don't.
This is the thing. I never know what's happening.
Oh,
and I've
he
talked
is-
about this
listen.
once before.
Listen. One thing I will say, and I don't know if this is it's not really a compliment, it's just kind of a fact. If he says he's gonna do something these days,
Done.
he's gonna do it. Like, I don't care how like I'm glad we're attacking the real problems here, I guess.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Paper straws. Fuck them turtles.
The thing
Fucking
is,
turtles.
the interesting thing about it, and I feel like I've spent way too much time thinking about this. It's gonna be like one of the first things I think I've seen a president do that might actually like I see change in my day-to-day life. like quickly. You know what I mean?
I don't think he can legally just.
Well, I was gonna say,
ban
how does that
paper
work?
straws.
I don't know what he can do.
Like, here's your
I don't
paper
know what
straw.
he
You're
can't
under
just
arrest.
make
I'm an undercover
laws.
cop.
Yeah, I don't know what he can do. That's the thing. I thought I understood how government works. I don't think I do.
I
Or-
was told
Let me
there
tell
are
you
checks
something.
and balances.
So here's the thing. Somebody here doesn't know how government works. It's either him or me, and I don't
He's
know.
the
who-
president, sir.
Actually, I think we understand how government works, and he's just kind of like, no, that's not how it's gonna. That's
I think he's a businessman and he realized that he can just say things and do things until someone tells him no. So he's going to.
yeah.
Dead serious. And I think it's the same thing with the tariffs, not to go down the whole political rabbit hole. I think it's the same thing with the tariffs. I think for him, that's a negotiating tactic. I think it's, guess what? We're putting tariffs on these countries and they say, okay, we're going to do it back. And then they get in a room and they talk and they're like, okay, we'll take it away if we do this. We'll take it away if we do this. And then maybe we get the same shit we already had. But like, it's just a way to.
The issue is he doesn't fully understand the things he's doing sometimes.
Mhm.
But like you said, it's negotiating tactic. If he just throws the words out there, like, but when it comes to paper straws, like I don't really know what the tactic is. I texted y'all somewhat like half joking, being like, he went through a drive-through, right? And got like a paper straw and got pissed off and was like, tweet.
Yeah, no more.
Like that's only half a joke, but that's what happened, right?
Probably.
That has to be what happened. He didn't just wake up one morning and was like, you know what? Paper straws.
I do agree.
They gotta go.
Paper straws do suck.
They do suck. I think 2 weeks ago when you were asking about the little things that bother us, I said, save the turtles, but the paper straws have to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's my favorite part of one of our Brew Bros videos. And it's very small, but it's literally like we're at a coffee shop and I'm like, oh, it's a paper. You're like, oh, it's a paper straw. And I'm like,
turtles.
yeah, save the turtles. And I'm like half eating a cookie and like, it's my favorite thing.
I don't
At what point do we stop saving the turtles?
now because
When
he's-
they're
he's
gone, I
signing-
guess.
He's signing the thing. Basically like, hey, fuck the turtles, I guess.
Here's the thing, like companies were using, I think what happened was there was a mandate for some places to start using paper straws or to be more mindful. I don't know.
Eco-friendly.
But places were using paper straws, like Disney uses paper straws. Well, Animal Kingdom.
To be fair, not all paper straws are created equally. Some are not that bad.
They're all pretty terrible.
Yeah, but some of them just like break down immediately.
Yeah.
It's like I'm drinking liquid out of like a toilet paper roll.
I don't,
It's just-
you know what? This might be a hot take. I don't know if I hate the paper straws more than them just giving me the lid to drink it. Like, it depends because some of them are okay. Like Starbucks has a nice lid to drink just like an iced coffee out of.
Mm-hmm.
But some like CC's will have one and it's only big enough to like fit a straw in, but it's also made to drink and it's too small of a hole.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Say what you want. That's fine.
I'm not saying
Get your
nothing.
jokes off.
I'm not
Great.
saying nothing. Is there anything worse than like the cheap, you get a coffee and it's like you rip off the little part that you drank out of?
And the hole's
And-
just too
yeah,
ripped
and you
up
can't,
you
it doesn't
can't-
get back on the cup. And then it's just,
Mhm.
you hope you don't hit a bump or else
spills
your
everywhere.
coffee's going there.
I haven't bought a hot coffee. Like I feel like you only get those at the gas station, and I haven't bought a hot coffee from a gas station in a minute.
You going to racetrack a lot? Is that what's
Circle K,
I do appreciate the gas stations now though, because they have like the whole
Buc-ee's.
stations with all like
different Buc-ee's.
all the different stuff to make in your coffee.
Not really. Like I'm not really shitting on gas station coffee. Sometimes it's like it gets the job done. If you just need a good coffee for cheap, it'll get the job done.
on a road trip? I mean,
But I've just kind of transitioned into iced coffee, and then you're not getting good iced coffee from a gas station. It's just not happening.
I drink too much coffee. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I told you guys this earlier. I
told you I
drink too much
didn't
coffee.
yesterday. I didn't have my first cup of coffee till like noon, and my body was like, "What's happening?
Yeah.
Are we dying?"
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I, every coffee shop around here, they know me as soon as I walk in. It's really not a good scene. I'll be honest. I've realized that I drink too much. And the thing is, there's 3 Starbucks I go to.
Mhm.
When I walk in, they're like, oh, here you go. Because I've pre-ordered, but they know my name and they know what I
Yeah.
ordered. So they're like, oh, here he is. This is his. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
Great service. I come here too much. But I also don't just go to Starbucks. I go to Cured and they're
Yeah.
like, black cold brew? Yeah. I mean, it's an easy drink to remember. I'm a tall guy. Maybe I got a punchable face. I don't know.
We spend a lot of time there.
Yeah. Tandem, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. You get the cold brew? Nothing in it, right?
CC's is the worst for me. Like they used to be able to tell my voice through the drive-through. Like that was a lot.
Yeah,
That's
I
rough,
I saw a tweet. There was a guy talking about him going through a drive-through, and he came through and was like, "Oh, back again." And he's like, "It's over at this point." And it's like they recognize me that I've come to this place so much that they just back
You
again.
will never see me
Yeah.
again. You just drive off.
I drink too much coffee, but also I like it. I like having the connections with the people.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
They're opening a 7 Brew on the
I
Veterans.
saw. Oh, I didn't see that. I saw they opened one in Chalmette.
Yeah, they're opening one on Vets.
What is that again?
It's
I
like
mean,
a.
I've never
coffee
been.
shop,
I've
obviously.
never been, but apparently it's super popular.
It's just like an up and coming like coffee place. It reminds me a lot of that Jet Coffee like in Lafayette. It's kind of like
Got a bad taste in my mouth about
Kinda.
Jet coffee.
yeah.
They
Is it
didn't
the
have
food?
eggs.
Yeah.
They didn't have eggs. I was very upset. I
Well,
said
they're not called Jet Coffee and Eggs.
in the morning, I said I would really like some breakfast. Eggs, bacon, something like that.
It was a long night.
Yeah,
Eggs would have been
there was
nice.
some
Let's
there was some
go to
time-
Jet Coffee. Okay, cool. I don't know what they have.
There's-
Hey, all they have is bagels. Fuck.
There were
Okay.
there were some time constraints.
Yeah, probably.
We could have made
Someone
time
had a
for
rough
eggs.
night.
We could have made time for real food. Coffee was fine.
Yeah,
It was
it
cold
was
brew.
fun. I had other things. I want to talk about small disappointments in life.
Mm.
Okay, so like, the example, I went to get a haircut the other day. Get the haircut. I don't know if they do this for y'all, but like they put at the end, put gel in it. Like it looks like I'm about to go do something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go do something. I just got this haircut. And then you're like, I have no plans for the night. Get my haircut. Like I'm ready to go out, have some fun, look good.
Yeah,
Small disappointment.
Hmm.
Didn't get to do anything.
that is a small disappointment.
What's some other things like that?
Set by expectations.
Does
Oh.
fixing
Well, no, that's the thing. I don't go into it with expectations.
You
Like,
just
after I get-
knew
after I-
look good, I need to do something.
After I get the haircut, I'm
Yeah.
like the step of doing my hair is done for me already.
Mhm.
So I'm like, yeah, I can go do something. And it's like, oh, you know what? No.
I have taken that step away when I go to the barbershop. They're like, "You want me to fix your hair?" I'm like, "Nah."
If they
I'm about
ask,
to put a hat on.
if
It's
they
fine.
ask, I say no. You put a hat on after you
I
get a
do.
haircut?
I'm rude as fuck.
No, that's psycho behavior because then you get the hair in your hat.
No.
No.
I don't, you know how often the top of my hair actually gets cut?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's more like the fade.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes I don't put a hat on. It depends. But even when I don't, I'm like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah. If
I'm-
they ask, I say no. But
like,
like sometimes
I'm
they
going
just
home.
do it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's when the expectations get set.
So how often do you get your hair cut?
I mean, often, but I go back. I go to different people each time.
Because I'm going every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
No matter what.
I'm not doing that. It's like
No misses.
It's once a month probably for me.
Hattie don't miss. Every 2 weeks. Same barber normally.
Nah,
Sometimes I switch up. I have 2 other barbers I love that are on the South Shore. And if I have the time,
Yeah.
I'll make it out
That's
there.
fair. It's like once a month for me because if I'm doing something, I will squeeze another one in.
Mm.
But like I don't do enough to feel like I need to have my hair cut. Like I feel like I'm wasting money to go get my hair cut to just go to work and have a hat on all day anyway. So
Look at the pods that we're on. I wear hats 95% of the time. I get my hair cut every 2 weeks
yeah, that's you. Hey,
religiously.
it's your prerogative, bro.
It
Do
is.
what you
That's
wanna do.
true. It is my life.
I'm not judging you.
It's now or never.
Prerogative.
I ain't gonna live forever.
I ain't judging you.
I went straight to food, fixing cereal, and then going in the fridge, and there's no milk.
That's a bummer.
It's a small thing, but it's like, fuck, now what do I do with this dry cereal?
Yeah.
Disappointingly put it back in the box that I just poured it out of.
Yeah, that is something. I went to like a few weeks ago. I wanted a ham sandwich and I had everything. I made the ham, or I got the bread out, I toasted it, had some ham, put the ham on there. I'm like, I need some mayo. I go, mayo's expired.
Oh,
Mhm.
that sucks.
I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do now?
All mine are like, that's coming to my head are like food
I
related.
turned it into breakfast. Was the answer. Toast,
Yeah.
fried the ham, had some eggs
There you go.
for
Like-
lunch.
Like you get an order and it has something that you don't usually get on it, and you're like, forgot to say no, blah 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 blah. You know, it's just like I hate tomatoes,
Mm.
hate blue cheese.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I got nothing.
Did you guys know Hosier was still an extremely popular artist?
Yeah.
No idea.
Too good for me. Or what's
Mhm.
You're too sweet.
I
Too sweet.
Yeah.
I haven't
Take
heard a
my
Hosier song
whiskey sweet.
since Take That to Church. Take Me to Church.
You didn't know that Too Sweet was a Hosier song? I think we had a
I've-
podcast one
I
time where
don't-
I mentioned that song.
I don't know this song.
You don't know Too Sweet by Hosier?
No,
Can you connect Bluetooth and play it real quick?
maybe.
Can we
I-
figure this out?
I had this conversation with Chad this morning. He's like, he's headlining Bonnaroo. I was like, what?
Yeah, dude.
The biggest shock of my life recently. Well, second, because Luca was traded. The, I was like, he's big enough to headline Bonnaroo. He's like right behind, like, I forgot who he told me. He's like the most streamed artist with like Teddy Swims right now. I'm like, what?
Dude, Too Sweet is a massive song.
That's what's crazy. Like I saw something. It was like these two guys that are like bringing back the Beastie Boy sound, and I'm like, who are these guys? And then they're performing, and they just have the whole crowd singing to their stuff. I'm like,
Oh yeah, dude.
I hadn't heard from them at all, and then they're just
If you
obviously got a
can-
following like
If
that.
you can bring back a sound
Yeah.
and make it your own,
LeAngelo Ball.
exactly. That's why I'm
Yeah.
bringing it up. Listen, phenomenal.
Yeah.
LeAngelo Ball has killed it.
I can't connect right now.
You can't connect.
My phone is set up to connect to it.
Aaron, do you want to sing?
I'll take my whiskey neat,
Oh,
my
that song.
coffee black, and my
Yeah.
Okay. I know that song.
That's Hozier.
Didn't know it was Hozier.
There
But
you
that's
go.
still one song.
That song is so streamed. Okay, it's probably making up a lot of those streams you're talking about.
Okay. But like, I don't want to call it.
Ding, 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 ding.
But like, if you're big enough, if he's big enough to headline Bonnaroo,
You know who Coldplay's like that? I feel like Coldplay's they're just gonna be forever.
Yeah.
They sell out stadiums, and I'm like, more power to them.
I'm a big Apple person. I'll never forgive them for putting that album on my phone.
No, that was U2.
You too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like
I don't want
forced-
the YouTube people coming after me again. We've been there.
Brother.
That was some of the most hate we've ever gotten.
Jeez. It was like early Who Effing Knows podcast. Like our third episode, we
Yeah.
talked about U2.
Yeah.
The video went viral and we're like, what is happening?
I did not know the U2 stands were out there. I'm gonna be honest.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good for them.
Yeah. But like
You think they take Metamucil now or like
maybe.
It's like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're like, oh, they're still doing it, huh?
I meant they're fans, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
I honest to God, I had no idea he was as big. Even if it's one song, big enough to headline Bonnaroo.
I don't know. I don't know what Bonnaroo. Listen, I'm not
It's a huge music
I'm not a
festival. Man.
festival guy.
I mean, it's one of the biggest festivals there is.
Okay, but do people actually care about the music there? Or do they care that they're going to Bonnaroo because it's Bonnaroo?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
feel
Like,
I feel like that's all festivals now. It's like it's the experience with a little bit of the artist, but
also, I've come to acknowledge that like I am older, and like there are bands that younger people really like, and like they know all the songs, and I'm like, okay,
no, I respect that, but like Hozier,
maybe they like Hozier. Maybe they're like, yeah, that one song is what we
like,
know.
I don't
but
want
they-
this. This is not me saying that Hozier isn't talented. Dude can sing his ass off. Like I get it.
Is it a one person? See, I'm
I don't
so
know.
old. Is it a band?
I
Is
don't
the
know.
name of the
I don't
band
know.
Hozier? Or is it like Teddy Hozier?
I always assumed it was
Theodore Hozier.
I always assumed it was one guy, but
Maybe.
it might be a band.
I don't know.
That's crazy. I don't know. That's crazy. It was.
I'm hoping his name's Theodore Hozier. Actually, I feel like that's
It was shocking news to me to find out them was as big as they are.
First of all,
We
we're
can
all
assume.
females. Okay,
Yeah.
she.
Okay,
Let's get it right. Sorry, we're making
Can't-
this way too political.
man, been going for a minute. I only had one more topic.
What you got?
Have y'all been keeping up with this Temptation Island stuff on Twitter?
Oh, I
Montoya.
hadn't, but I saw some things today, and I was like, "Good God, this is on reality TV."
This is what I need to watch it. Like I have to watch the show now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I saw.
It's Temptation Island. Listen, and it's completely in Spanish.
Yeah.
Completely in Spanish. The viral clip, the thing that went viral like last night or night before last, the guy, they like had him watching the TV, right? So they're on this island. I don't know if they are in relationships coming into this or what. The guy was watching his girl cheat on him. And when I say cheat, brother, this man yeah. It starts off so like they built the drama beautifully. Like it starts off where they're like just having a conversation, right? And he's like in Spanish, you can't understand what he's saying, but you know what he's saying. It was one of those things. Then he takes off so like they're in the house and they're doing this thing like on a little bit further down the beach, right? He's watching them on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And when the other guy crawls into the bed, this dude, bam, beeline to the house. and like they keep going back and forth. He's running on the beach. She climbs on top of him. He's running on the beach, and then she is going to town. It's like the faster he runs, the faster she's going in the video. And it was like the most viral. And then it cuts off as he gets to the house. That's how the episode ended. So everybody was just waiting for part 2. Part 2 turns out he cheated first. Whoa. But they're wondering if the punishment meets the crime. Punishment being him watching that. She watched him get a lap dance, and that was her response.
First of all, if they're on this show,
listen. The takeaway here is if you were trying to get me interested in your show, job well done. Because I'm in.
that's wild though.
I can't
What
understand.
are we televising?
Yeah, but it's a Spanish show. Like this is
Telemundo for you, baby.
it's. I mean, we see the clips of like the Spanish weather women all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
They're
it's
not
different.
bouncing on a thing.
No, yeah, dude. And listen, even like when I think of like Big Brother is like the first reality TV show that comes to mind like that, where they're like in a house together, I guess. And they're subtle about it on there. Like it happens, but they're subtle. There was no.
This was not subtle.
There was
You
nothing.
couldn't see any skin, but it was not subtle.
No, it's not subtle at all.
What was the show like where they would get everybody in a house? Was it Real World?
Yeah,
It's kind of what I'm imagining here. Is it just strictly over these people, or is it like
Real
multiple
World
couples?
birthed all of this, right?
Yeah, I think
felt
so. Real World's like the first reality show that I know.
Yeah, like Real World birthed like Jersey Shore.
Mhm.
Jersey Shore birthed Big Brother's been around forever, but that's competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Survivor.
Yeah. Real World birthed Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore birthed
Well,
all of what you see.
yeah. All the more like
Temptation Island, Love
Yeah.
Island, all these different things. I think Jersey Shore birthed all of that.
yeah.
I'm an island boy.
People like trash TV. Let's do
Yeah.
it,
I'm in, man. Like I might not go sit and watch this show, but I'm waiting for the clips.
man. It's
He's-
too much for me.
My
I'm gonna be
dog was in
honest.
pain, bro. My dog.
It's too much for me, dude.
It got me. You said something, and we don't have to go too crazy about it, but like, because obviously we're all married,
Yeah.
but like, you said that she saw him get a lap dance, and she's considered that cheating. So what is like?
That was the conversation. That's what the conversation's been on Twitter. Is the
Because I've had conversations with my wife, and like hypothetically, she's like, we like had other people in our lives that have had situations like that, and they're like, well, he was texting this girl, and she's like, that's cheating, and I'm like, but if they never did anything,
I
she's
will
like, no,
say-
if you're flirting like that on text, that's cheating.
I will say, it was an extreme lap dance. This wasn't just like
Like
just
a Jamaican lap dance.
This was like she
The
was
pun-pun?
she was in the face. It was a little wild. Like,
Yeah.
but he kind of he was just there. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
still in the sense of a lap dance.
Is a lap dance cheating?
It depends.
It depends on the person.
Are you at a strip club? Does your wife know you're at a strip club? Does she know what the deal is? Are you seeking out this lap dance? Is the person just coming to you? Do you enjoy it? There's a lot of levels. to
There
this.
are people that do just think like a text qualifies.
Yeah.
Like each person. Also, I think that it comes with age too. I feel like if you like back in high school, I feel like more stuff was considered cheating because you're not as mature. As you grow, you're like, oh, somebody can actually just text someone without, you know what I mean? There's like the jealousy factor kind of goes away.
I stopped being jealous of anything a long time ago. I don't care.
Yeah.
I adopted a mindset when I was like 21 where it's like, if you're going to go do something, go do it. Have fun. And we're going to break up and we're going to move on. And that's life.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop you from thinking the way you think. And if you're not happy with me and you're going to go do that, you're going to do it anyway, or we're going to be miserable. So
Yeah.
just live your life. I almost hit this thing 40 times tonight.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Self-control.
We don't have to really dive into it. We've been going for a while, but there is a deeper conversation to be had there. Which does the punishment meet the crime? You have to see it. Like I can't.
No, I don't think
know if
that
a
does.
lap
That's
dance-
crazy.
Yeah. No, what she
Is-
did was worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than
There
what he
was,
did.
there was
Yeah.
insertion.
Like,
Yeah.
there was no like, oh, I slipped and fell. Nope. It's-
No, there was
There
making
was
out.
intent.
There was
Yeah.
insertion.
Patty was not joking when he.
Well, that was what got me. I'm going to be honest. I was trying to avoid this part of it. They were moving fast.
I'm telling you, the faster
I was
he,
like-
I don't know if they sped up the video
The
of her.
jackhammer.
The faster he ran on the beach, the faster she kept going.
I was like, okay, like they were getting after it. Like maybe I've moved that fast before. I don't know. But I was like, goodness gracious. And she was on top. So I was like, is she
yeah.
just bouncing like that? Like, pa, 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 pa. I was like, good Lord.
And if she did,
Man.
the last thing I saw was that he basically was like, I don't know what he actually said, but he was like, I'm done with it. Like he was done with it. And then she like went up and was
She, like,
hugging him
hugged
and
him,
begging for
apparently, right?
forgiveness,
Yeah.
basically.
I'm sorry. No.
No, I can't. You
No.
know what's crazy though? He didn't see that part. He was running on the beach.
Oh. So
maybe
he's probably like,
maybe he's
You
seen
can
it now.
assume, Yeah, I'm about to say.
But like, if it could all be for TV. Maybe he saw it and we didn't see him see it.
yeah.
But the way the TV showed it, he didn't see that part happen.
Goodness gracious.
that always cracks me up too. Like you always see like on the cheater show, like someone gets cheated on. Like a guy has his girlfriend cheat on him, and they go to like immediately start beating up the guy. I'm like, the guy's not the fault, not at fault. It's your girl that's
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah, I don't
never.
I don't know. I don't even know where to watch this show. I'm gonna find it. Maybe I'll update y'all every week if you want.
Sure. I only saw it because I saw 50,000 people tweeting about it on my timeline. And I was like, what's happening?
It went crazy last night.
Yeah.
Like the episodes must come out on like Fridays, and they were waiting till midnight to see part 2 of it.
I was like, who the hell's Montoya? What is this?
Exactly. I just in my notes I just put Montoya in all caps. I don't even know. I think he was Montoya. I don't know. I don't know who's who
I don't either.
because he was screaming Montoya, but I think he's Montoya. So I don't know if he's talking about himself in the third. Like I don't know.
He's like mad at himself.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
going through it.
Montoya.
How could you be so
This-
dumb?
This actually relates to a topic I had.
Oh God. Okay. Well, we're here now. Just keep going.
I mean, we're here. Who cares? Listen, if you follow us and you watch, you're an idiot.
yeah.
We'll just give you more time to listen to us in your car. Yeah.
There you go. I like earlier you started negative. Now you got the positive
Yeah.
spin. It's all perspective.
Mhm.
So it's similar. So I was reading a tweet about, it was like, am I the asshole or am I overreacting? It was on Reddit. Am I overreacting? And essentially it was a guy and he was posting about, no, it was a woman. Sorry. Let me back up before I throw you guys off track. It was a woman and she was like, am I overreacting? My husband is mad at me. We had to leave our honeymoon a day early because he found out that I texted my ex goodbye the night before the wedding. This is all the context. What are your thoughts on this?
Like she's texting him goodbye, as in like there's nothing else.
Her argument was,
I'm
I
confused.
texted-
Like, was she texting him like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
going on a
like
trip.
what's the
Goodbye,"
context, right?
or
so
is
she
she
was
like
getting
saying,
married. She was getting married the next day. She said goodbye, as in like, this
We're-
is it. Like
yeah.
I'm moving on with my life, and this is my
Mhm.
closure.
To me, she has something going on.
Doesn't
still.
it feel icky?
It
Yeah.
does feel icky.
Feels icky.
Especially if you've gotten to that point where you've obviously they were probably together for at least a year at the minimum, that they went through the stage where they got engaged and then they planned the wedding and then you get married. To me, at that point, it's like you should have nothing to do.
Why
The
do you
ex
need to
shouldn't even
text
be
your
in
ex?
your head, you know?
Like what? Like night before your wedding, you text your ex. There's a reason you're texting your
Yeah.
ex.
It's almost like I show you, and then it's like in the back of their head, they're like, but if you get upset, you know,
Even if they never actually did anything, there was enough conversation there that you'd be like, should we? You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
like,
the other. That's
like
the other.
the emotional connection was still there, which
Yeah.
sometimes is worse.
So that goes back to the what's cheating? Is that emotional cheating? Is that cheating?
I think a big thing too is like, how was this our first text to this person like in 3 years, or was it like
no way. There's no
they
way.
had previous conversations where she's like, all right,
That's kind of what
This
I'm
is
saying.
goodbye.
That's what I'm getting at. Is there's no way this was the just out of the blue texted the ex like goodbye.
Yeah.
There's a connection there that you felt the need to say goodbye. And at that point, I get like you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that
nothing happened
Nothing
while
happened.
you were together.
That's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
Regardless if anything happened, doesn't matter. Clearly, if you felt the need to text your ex goodbye right before your wedding, there's something that you were feeling that you needed to rid yourself of, but you're not actually ridding yourself of.
no.
Like, what are you battling with if you're marrying me and you're texting somebody
Yeah.
else goodbye?
It's almost like like y'all said, my brain would immediately go to they were doing something while we were together, and it was like no, we can't do this anymore, and then it was like a goodbye.
Yeah.
You also then I would think you kind of like start like trying to think back and be like, were there any weird moments
Yeah,
where I was like, where you like brush something off and then it's like, well, maybe there was something more to that. Like, oh, maybe there was a time she went to the grocery. It took a little longer than
Maybe.
it should have. You know what I mean?
She had a body pump class at 5, but
Yeah.
didn't get home till 9.
Like I said, that question, like
They were supposed to be working chest, but she said her legs were really
this is all like
tired.
immediate thoughts. Like when you first find out, like all this stuff's gonna run through your head.
Yeah.
Maybe things change as you get to sit down and talk and this and that, whatever. But immediate thoughts, they're not. Nothing's gonna be. It's not gonna be positive.
But going back to what you said earlier, you said you've got to that point in life where you're just like, look, if you're gonna do what you need to do what you're gonna do. Like it is what it is, and then we're done. So would you, like in that situation for you, would you have the same mindset? Like, look, she said goodbye. If they did something, they did something.
You said this was the honeymoon.
It was the honeymoon.
So
it was like literally right after the wedding. So no. So yes, but no. It's hard to explain. So if you're gonna cheat on me, you're gonna cheat. I can't stop you. That's how I approach it. It's like, it is what it is. If you're unhappy with me, maybe we should have had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's things we could have done differently. But now we're at that point. It is what it is. I can't beg you to not think the way you're thinking right now.
Yeah.
So, with that mindset of like, oh, if my future wife is about to text her ex, I can't control that. That is what it is. But if I find out after the fact, it's like, okay, like clearly you had feelings or something that you needed to address and you didn't. Why didn't we talk about this? And how do you feel right now? Because this was 2 days ago and we just got married. You know what I mean? Like that would be my mindset. I'm like, hold on, you're not ready for marriage. Like that's where it wouldn't necessarily be a crucifixion of like, you cheated on me. It would be like are you actually ready to marry me?
Yeah.
Should we be together in this capacity right now, or should we be working through some things?
And so you said they left a day early, so I'm assuming he didn't take it too well if they left a day early.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're not going to take it well. Like you're not going to want to stay on the honeymoon. But the complication now is,
should you even be married? Yeah. Like it's like, hold on now.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Should marriage come with like a 30-day return policy?
It does. There's an annulment.
Oh.
You can annul a marriage within the first however many days.
Well, there's Buddy's out right there. He's got probably 3 weeks to figure out.
I think that technically something goes along with like consummating the marriage. Like you can't have sexual relations.
It's like the first 90 days at a job. It's like I could let you go for any reason the first 90 days.
There you go.
Look at us having real conversations a few times today.
There you go. I'll
real life topics, some positive topics, some
be honest,
negative topics.
last like 10 minutes I've just been wanting to add Montoya as a button.
Montoya!
I keep thinking of the wrestler. What's the I'm thinking of Santonio Morera.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I thought I lost my mind. I was like, shit, I can't hear myself.
There.
Where'd it go?
I was like, did you speak or?
I didn't hear myself talk. I was like, oh,
is this it for me?
Yeah. Oh no, man.
Can't wait.
That's all I got.
Thanks for listening. The pod. Like it?
Yes.
Yeah.